All right. All right, the suit's coming off. The spoilers are coming out. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Royal. This is The Popular Perspective. So, we finally made our way to the spoiler conversation. In this video, there's going to be minimal to no editing, basically, for the fact that there's not much I have to really keep out of this conversation between the two of us. Spider-Man Brand New Day. This movie is bold to say the least. I gotta be honest, there were so many ways we could have spun the fourth film for Spider-Man. There was so many different routes we could have taken with that. And usually we want to do something new or bold, but you could even say that the atmosphere Tom Holland's in is pretty new in its own. So you didn't have to go this hard. From the very beginning of this movie, you feel like you're in a comic book. And you're seeing Spider-Man, it's picking up from where we left off. He's remembering how MJ and Ned no longer remember him. He's seeing them over at MIT. Things get crazy, emotionally for him anyways. But during this moment, there's this cop chase going on. A tank is roaming free in the city. Spider-Man has to get to moving. When he gets to moving, the most incredible thing that could happen for a comic book movie actually happens. He starts running into other comic book characters pursuing the same situation. It's Punisher. Now, in this movie, I think the thing that they peaked on that we get very little of is Destin's ability to maneuver and mix these characters without sacrificing who they are. And I think that that's intelligent, because usually you'll see a story even from really great directors like the Russo brothers, and then they're like, we have to show Thanos is the Genghis Khan of the universe. How do we do that? Well, in the beginning of Infinity War, we're just gonna have Hulk, clip. And it's like, well, that's not who he is. Then we come around Endgame and you see how Hulk looks, and even parts of Thor, and it's like, that's not who they are. And it's not to say that the Russo brothers couldn't do good with that. It's just their head was in a different space, where Destin literally puts Punisher in Spider-Man, not Spider-Man in Punisher, making it an R-rated feature so it'd be easier for Frank to curse and such around Spider-Man. Now you don't have to make Spider-Man curse so nobody's sacrificing character. No, Punisher's in this movie, and he's very much the same Punisher from Punisher One Last Kill and Born Again. So they did not sacrifice his character at all. The way Frank's talking to Peter, like he's almost annoyed with this kid, but Peter continuously brings up this whole, remember that one time I saved you in Staten Island? Like, we absolutely need to get a scene in the next Punisher installment or Spider-Man installment explaining how this Staten Island situation really occurred. The fans need to know, how did Spider-Man save Punisher? Because we know he did. We just want to know how. He crosses many more characters. We know that he sees Black Widow in there. We know that he sees the Hulk in there. Jean Grey's in there. Going up against the Hulk, right? There's this thing that Spider-Man said to Punisher, which was so brilliant to put in there. Because usually we'll look at it and we're like, yeah, you want a serious situation, you send somebody like Punisher in to finish the job. But the truth of the matter is, that's not really the case. Spider-Man acknowledges the grit and the experience Punisher has from the field, but it's not like that makes Spider-Man any less than Frank. In fact, he has to still subtly warn him, Frank, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm here to save you. And he's like, this is way above your pay grade. Says something along the lines of, you just baited the Hulk, and then Hulk levels the floor, and Punisher falls in it. So this then leads to Spider-Man asking Punisher, are you trying to get out of fighting the Hulk? Because he goes to apprehend Jean Grey instead. And Frank was like, yeah, I guess so. I was like, that's genius, man. And the chemistry that these two have, dare I say it, is better than Deadpool and Wolverine's chemistry. And Deadpool and Wolverine have freaking amazing to perfect chemistry. But Spider-Man and Punisher really do something different here. And it's all credit to Destin knowing how to mix these characters without making them any less than what they really are. Like, Punisher was getting headshot after headshot, but Hulk eats bullets all day. So Spider-Man's just like pulling him in different areas and directions so he doesn't get hit. It was truly incredible. Then Jean Grey takes over Punisher's mind and talks to it was incredible. They were just mixing these different personalities, and they're all big time comic book characters. We find out through Yelena, Black Widow, that Spider-Man should be looking for this thing called VMAX. And we find out through Bruce how to create this inhibitor chip that would almost mute mutations, right? Like it'll cease them from happening. And you can actually choose to which variation and to what like time length it would be suppressed for, and it was super complex. The fact that they showed Spider-Man basically open the door, right, to like mutants being controlled and all, I was like, oh my gosh. Instantly I started thinking of Deadpool 2. I'm like, that's the collars that they put on them, take out their powers. But this was like freaking nuts. Like, you can like mix the ratio, you can have some power, not complete power. They were like showing already, like, if Jean Grey was to ever become the Phoenix, Peter could truly save her if they're together, which the comics showed that they've been together before. So I don't see what the problem is now. I mean, dude, not to get carried away, VMAX is something Peter should be looking for. It's where Jean Grey's sister was held. The inhibitor ends up prolonging this situation for Spider-Man where his body is starting to take over one set of species more than the other. And he didn't really know how to control that. You know, as human beings, we're very social creatures by nature. So seeing him going through all this depression, his aunt died, his girlfriend no longer remembers him and is no longer his girlfriend, his best friend doesn't remember him and he's moved on with his life. Peter's really abandoned in the biggest city in the world with the most people. And I love that you can make that feeling shown. And then we reach this issue here. Peter has two ways to go about it. You even see MJ in the film admits to Peter, you were going to make this decision for me. Now, we can't pretend as if Peter was under the correct headspace when he had made this decision of not telling MJ. His aunt just died. He's very much on his own. He's starting his entire life over. He had to take the GED. His high school diploma no longer exists. He no longer exists. There's no Avengers that know him. We have two directions we can go in. Peter can either apologize, right, for the decisions he made, backtrack on himself, and fall into this, I'm still gonna chase after you, I just have an issue balancing my hero life and my personal life. You see that Peter sits more than well on the decisions he made, even after the fact that MJ looked him in his face and said, I don't love you, I don't even know you, and then said, I'm sorry, Peter. And it was sincere, it was genuine. So Jean Grey gets to asking Peter, who are you, Spider-Man or Peter Parker? And he answers, I'm both. For the first time, though, we actually see Peter carries that out. He ends up finding Jean. He apologizes for almost apprehending her. No, he apologizes for apprehending her and giving her over to damage control, who was the actual villains holding Jean and her sister. She apologizes for his aunt. She goes on to tell him that she has no one. Peter looks at her and says, you have me. Instantly, you can see this girl, who's a redhead, instantly fits an MJ role that MJ would have fit. So we had Michelle Jones, and Michelle Jones was a very different take on MJ herself. Where else would you be able to fit that role of MJ if it was a redhead, right? With green eyes, that fits that role pretty well. And then it's also somebody who can't love Spider-Man for Spider-Man, but needs to love Peter Parker for who he is, and who better to know who he truly is than Jean Grey, who can see into him. They lock eyes, but Spider-Man is so strong, even after they were messing with her mutation. And of course, Jean Grey is going to become much stronger. She needs to. Spider-Man is so strong. His spider sense is so sharp. He sees the bang go off in the vision. That abstract reality, that out-of-body experience he had with Jean, he saw the flash go off from the bang. Oh my gosh. And then proceeds to cover up Jean, eats a bullet from Punisher. When he collapses, he can't even breathe. Jean is breathing for him. And Punisher holds Spider-Man, like the iconic imagery we see in Civil War's comic book. What the hell is happening right now? Destin was absolutely going off on this movie. Tom Holland needs an Oscar. He was not moving like this in the Odyssey. Chris Nolan does not understand action sequences. He makes the most amazing stories. He makes the most amazing movies. And then when it comes to the action sequences, it's like, Nolan, come on, Chris, you know you can use some help, buddy. Like, I would never believe that Batman can just easily choke up Spider-Man like this to get to his mom, who's Catwoman, because his dad killed MJ. You know what I mean? But in this movie, you're like, Pattinson's cooked. Like, there's nothing he can do. Like, Spider-Man is going toe-to-toe with the Hulk, and Hulk is at a level we've never seen since 2008. Destin absolutely cooked on this movie. I don't even know how to explain that properly. Like, there's so much in this film, and it literally feels like a comic book. The best part about it is this. Peter goes to Aunt May's headstone and explains to her he's gonna start living life with others, start connecting again. He's not gonna do it alone. And you see this little thing where MJ's holding on to her necklace, and she doesn't know him, but she thinks, oh, that's nice of him. And she's sitting on her roof. You can see the smirk, and Peter ends up seeing Ned. First off, Punisher cried in this movie, but forget that. Punisher cries now, he takes naps. You know, Peter sees Ned, and Ned remembers him as Flower Guy. He says, I'm Peter, and they shake hands, and then they do their special dab. This blew my mind. The fact that Ned was able to have the muscle memory to put that back in, and then looks at him and says, Peter, as if it's starting to come back to him. The song and all for the final title sequence. And I gotta be honest, man, this was absolutely the best Spider-Man movie of all time, down to the soundtrack. And I loved it. This is so good, it's like, let's quit while we're ahead. It doesn't get any better than this. It's such a beautiful ending to the franchise, but then it's also like, we need part 5, Destin. Like, can you catch lightning in a bottle twice, Destin? I believe you can. Down in the end credit sequence, the post-credit scene, this movie is amazing. In my previous video, I said if you wanted to know what the end credit scene meant, you needed to know comic books. I said to focus on the franchise. There are things that have already been hinted, like the end credit scene of the last No Way Home in the last Venom film that had never been fulfilled. And no, it's not Miles Morales. This has nothing to do with the Spider-Verse. Kind of. Guys, Spider-Man is on Battleworld. This makes Avengers Doomsday so much more interesting, guys. I mean, now at this point, we're all holding our breath just to see Spider-Man again. That's really what we're doing. If you made it to the end of this video, please drop a like button while you guys are down there. Also, go to the comment section below. Let me know what you guys thought of this movie. Like, if you're watching this video, I hope you saw this movie. And if you hadn't seen this movie and you still saw this video, let me know what you guys think now that we know this next trilogy is secure. Guys, like, we're in good hands. Also, while you guys are down there, if you made it to the end of this video, hit the subscribe button to become a man and or maiden of culture. But until we're talking about a topic very similar to this one or something entirely different, stay happy, stay healthy, stay humble, and I'll be seeing you guys real soon. God bless. Now talk about Superman.
Superman is not my favorite.